Hello again. So this is just a throttle exercise. Newer drivers often don't know, or experienced drivers often forget, that you can steer with the gas pedal in addition to the steering wheel. So for this exercise, we'll be focusing solely on the throttle. And we'll go ahead and load up a test session and I'll show you what I mean. Make sure. This works for front-wheel drives and rear-wheel drive cars. I'm just happen to do this in one of the TCR cars because I see this probably more often in front-wheel drive. The way people drive the front-wheel drive, they put a little too much wheel into it, as well as too much throttle at the same time. But like I said, this also works, or this exercise works with rear-wheel drive cars as well. So you just load up centripetal circuit. And what we're going to do is we're going to go out to, for this car, it works nice on the 150. You might have to kind of play around to see which track or which radius works best for you. But we're going to go ahead and put this out to the 150. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to go around this line right here that's in front of us. What we're going to do is we're going to keep our steering wheel pretty much at this angle for the entire exercise. So I'd suggest putting it at the angle you want and then adjusting your hands so they're like at 9 and 3 or 10 2, whatever you use. Unless you're using if you're not using a round wheel, your shoulders might get a little sore just kind of holding it like this. So we'll go ahead and start it off straight just to get up to speed. There's two ways to do this. You can either do it with the line on the left like this, and this is kind of the way I like to do it. Maybe if you're starting off, maybe put it so that the line is directly in the center. Might be a little bit easier if you're starting off with this, but I like to have a visual for keeping it almost like it's a grass on the left and asphalt on the right. And what we're going to do is we're going to get up to speed. And once we get up to speed, what we're going to do is we are going to get it so that we've got our hands in the right position and it's stable. And then we're going to start walking it out to the 160, 170, etc. And once we get back up there, we're going to walk it all the way back down to the 100. You can't really go much lower than 100, at least not in this car. Maybe you can do it in others. But you see what I mean. Again, the hands stay still once we get up to speed. So I'm going to actually turn it a little more than you need to. This is overdriving the car a little bit here. But I want to get my hands so they're turned pretty good like this. Okay, so now that my hands are in about the position I want, I'm going to use nothing but throttle. So as the line comes in, I hit the throttle and the line will go back to the left. If I let off, the line, and then you have to kind of predict it. So even if you mess up like this, just bring it back slowly and you'll see you can go a little bit more to the right. And I can bring it right back online. Now once you've got it so that it's pretty stable like this, so you're not moving the wheel or the throttle, or not moving it that much, try moving it out to the next line. Once that's stable, move it to the next line. Now when you get out here to these lines, it's going to be real easy to go left and really hard to go right. But even if you screw it up like this, just stay on it. And when that line starts coming back, let off, because when you're out here, it's going to be easier to go left. So try to get that speed. You have to anticipate what it's going to do. So I'm pretty stable there, and I'll just go off to the next line. And once I'm stable there, I'll go to the next one. And now it's stable, and then work your way back down each one. I let off a little too much there. Kind of a bad showing for this, but alright. So I let off a little bit too much on when I was out there at the edge. So this time I'm going to let off just slightly, and you'll see it pull in. And then I'm going to actually hit the gas a little more because I don't want it to spend another 5 minutes getting back online. Now here, it's the opposite of what's on the outside. Here it's going to be much easier to get it to turn right, or go further right, than it is to go in. So I'm going to bring this in a little bit. It's a lot easier to get this thing to go straight. Really hard to get it to go left now. And then I'll bring it down again. I think this might be about the last circle I can do. Oh, it's just 90. So this is a pretty tight turn here. And you can see it's going to go wide. Might not be able to get it back on the 90. Yeah, like I said, I think 100's about as low as... Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get it back there. So anyway, you can see the entire time I never moved my wheel. This doesn't translate as well to dirt, but I can kind of show you what dirt looks like a little bit. And it's kind of the opposite, because on the left turns here. On the left turns here, you let off to go left, and you know, to get your nose pointed left. But on dirt, it's the opposite. So you hit the gas to get to get that nose to turn left, and you let off to get the nose to turn to the right. But I'll go ahead and show you what dirt looks like. So we're gonna do the dirt street stock. Might not be the best car for this. I think the cars with higher horsepower are probably a little better, but I figured I would do this for the free content. And for the track, we will go with I thought I could search that way, apparently not. I want USA. So for this one, I think it's maybe a little bit important to talk about the track conditions. I don't see it. It's 40% though is what or 20%. I set this one at 20%. 40% was a little too slick to do this. Again, I'm just running the baseline setup. And I can't stress this enough. This is not how you would drive a car. This is an exercise. This is no different than any exercise you'd be doing in sports or anything like that. This is not useful for. This is not exactly how you do a lap around here. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to get it so my hands are fairly stable. Unfortunately, I don't have like a perfectly round track like centripetal circuit. But like I was saying, the exercise is similar, where you want to use your hands as little as possible. Of course, don't be hitting walls and things like that. But the reaction of the car will be different. So like I said, on asphalt, if I was doing a left turn like we are here, letting off will turn the nose left, and hitting the gas will turn the nose right. On the dirt, it's the opposite. So if you let off, the nose is going to go to the right a little bit more, and if you hit the gas, the nose is going to come a little bit left. And this is if you're counter steering. If you're not counter steering, if you're, if I got my wheel turned to the right, then it will so if my wheel going to the right, letting off will put that nose to the right. But if you were actually making a left turn, it's going to kind of do the same thing that I was doing on the gas. It might start, kind of depends on the back, but I guess you'll see how this works here. So I'm just going to whip it in hard like this, and then I'm going to try to, again, steer to keep it off the wall, but try to get a good run down the center. So that was about as good as I could get that last turn. But again, you can see it's not exactly like doing the centripetal circuit, but you can try to get that thing hung out, get your steering wheel pretty stable, and then try to use your throttle. Again, this isn't exactly how you would drive this car, but just to show you, if you run out of wheel, this is what to do. Hope that helps you guys on track. Let me know.